Hey everyone, this is Heather and I'm back with another video. Today I am sharing my February project life. So I know I'm midway through March and I'm still working on February, but that's the way I like it. I actually wait till the month is over so that I can collect all the pictures and print them all at once for the whole month. And then I work on that month during the next month. So February I work on during March. At least that's how I've been doing it recently. And so far it's been working. This is my first year doing Project Life, and as I said, sort of, I'm doing it monthly. So I use, this is a 6x12 album from We Are Memory Keepers, and then I'm using some of the 6x12 pages, but I'm also mixing it in with some 6x8 pages as well as some other things, so you'll see that throughout. But this is the start of February, so each month I'm going to use one of these bingo cards at the very top of this divider and just decorate that to make it look sort of like a month divider, I guess. And then for the beginning of this month, we went on an axe throwing excursion, which was really fun. So that was in Calgary. And here I included a couple of 2x3 photos, and I like how that looks, and I put the business card there as well. Then here the axe throwing continues, so I've just got sort of a title going vertically, and then a couple enamel dots and a stud, and then the group photo, so that was fun and easy to create. And then afterwards we went out for supper, so I just sort of journaled about that experience here. And then this is back at the axe throwing place. My father-in-law actually renovated it, so we wanted to see it, and it turned out really awesome. And then this was the supper that we went out for. That's the name of the restaurant. It was Brazilian barbecue. And this is my plate of food from the buffet before I even got the meat added on, so it was really good. And they had these little card things that you flip over if you want more food or if you don't want more food. So it just tells the servers if they should keep coming to your table or not. This was my mom's book fair, which I helped her set up, so that was really fun. She's a librarian. And on this card I just used some washi tapes. This gold triangle one has a transparent background, and then I just added a red polka dot as well. We got a new vehicle this month, so it's a Toyota FJ, so I wanted to document that. And I really am enjoying writing on photos here, so I just added the title on top of some washi tape and wrote sort of the subtitle, I guess. And in between these two photos, I included one of these coin pocket envelopes just for an extra picture with some journaling on the back of it. And then on this side was Valentine's Day, so again I put our title right on the photo, and I like how that worked out because there was this awkward sort of space between us, so it kind of filled that up, which is nice. And we went out for sushi, and that was really fun, so this is what I had. Also added a little puffy sticker right there. So my embellishing is pretty simple throughout this. I mainly use stickers and washi tape, not much else, because that's just what's quickest for me. My friend bought the fuse tool, and I had my doubts about it, but after experimenting with it a little bit, we really were enjoying it. So I used it on this little pocket. I had a square photo to go here, so I just made the bottom part of the pocket into a little shaker. And these are just pictures of our sushi date, and I included another one of these envelopes, and in there I just journaled about that day on some cardstock, and so that was a really fun time. So on the back I tried to use sequins in here that would sort of coordinate with both sides. The blue, I tied it in using these stickers and washi tape and such, and this side I have this blue card here. So this is about a double date we had. We had some friends over for supper, so that was really fun. And then from here on, I haven't finished it, but you will see in the process video right after this that I sort of stuck all the photos in and picked out what I wanted for cardstock or pattern paper, and I only have a couple pages left to go, so that will be in a different video. But I hope that you enjoyed this February month, and thank you so much for watching. If you want to see still photos of each of these pages, please check them out on my blog, which will be linked in the description below, as well as check me out on Instagram and Pinterest, and I'm StayBeautiful84 on both of those as well. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Alright, so I'm just going to jump into the process part of my video right now. It is a bit long. I go through pretty much all of the pages I created, I believe, so if you only want to watch part of it, totally fine with me. Right now, I'm just sorting through all of my photos, and I've already cut them out. I like to format them in Microsoft Word and type in what size I want for them, and then I just make it as efficient as possible to save paper. So I just print them on 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper and trim them all apart. And as you can see, I'm putting them in piles, and then I'm sort of sorting them into a timeline in chronological order as they happen throughout the month. And then I'm taking out all my ephemera and collected pieces throughout the month and adding them to the appropriate piles that they go with, if there's photos to go with the ephemera. And this just really helps me plan out the month. I found that it was much easier to do this month. I don't quite know what I did last month, but I remember it being a lot harder than it was, so either I'm just getting better at it or this is the better process. I'm not too sure. But now I'm just placing things into pockets, and I do skip through some of this, but basically I place all my photos into pockets in chronological order, and then I add in all my pattern paper. So once I've got all my photos in pockets, I do add the paper, which I don't think you see in the video. Here I'm punching some holes. So these sleeves, the 6x8 sleeves, come with 3 holes, but they're not lined up properly to fit in this binder album, so I do have to punch an extra hole depending on where in the rings I want it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I punched an extra hole in them anyways. That's basically all you need to worry about. And then I just add them sort of staggered to the album, so some of the 6x8 pages are closer to the top and some are closer to the bottom, and I try to keep that even out because at the end I don't want my album to be really thick on the top or thin on the bottom or whatever happens, so try to keep it even anyways. So I've got all my photos in, and I'm just adding these loose ephemera pieces. I'm not sure if I'll end up using them, but basically I think I'm ready to go here. So I skipped over the part where I added the papers, and here you can see I've just made the title card. So for that, like I said before, I'm using a month bingo card for every beginning of the month in this album. I'm not sure if the whole year is going to fit into this album. It's hard to say right now. It's already getting a bit thick, and I've only got 2 months in here, so we'll see how that goes. But now I'm just starting to work on that bottom card, and I'm trimming up my photos to the size of 2x3, and then they just fit nicely one above the other. And because they're very similar photos, I didn't think it was necessary to print them both larger scale, and I like this teeny little photo look. Adele from Inky Quill does this a lot, and I was inspired to try it myself. And so I trimmed down that business card to fit right there, and then I'm adding a strip of washi between the two. That's some glitter washi tape from Heidi Swap that I just got, and it's really pretty. So I was just looking in my day timer there to figure out what date this was, and I'm going to stamp the date on this little Tim Holtz label. And I did end up smearing it a bit, so I advise waiting slightly for the ink to dry on these labels. It does dry fine. I've used Distress ink as well, but I just got impatient, I guess. So now I'm just adding some red enamel type dots to this, and I think that accents the target quite nicely in these axe throwing pictures. So that was a fun little addition. And I added a little sticker that says official tour, and that card is done. So then I'm going to move on to that, what's it called? It's like a bigger business card, I guess. It's a 4x6 size, and I really liked the wood grain on this and the graphics, so I wanted to include it. And even though I included the business card as well, I think they both add something to the layout. So I'm just trimming it down because I thought that it looked a little busy or something. I wanted to define the edges, so I'm matting it on some white cardstock, which helps to make it pop a little bit more. I felt it was getting lost next to that busy city pattern that I used on the February card. So that's what I'm doing here, is just trimming it up and then matting it on this white cardstock, which I also inked with Vintage Photo, and that will finish that card. So that page is done, and I'm just going to move on to this next page. I selected this wood grain type card because I felt that it accented the larger card I was just working on nicely that was also wood grain. So I oriented the photo to be facing so that my body, I guess, was sort of facing to the right of the card, just because I was looking into the card then. I just thought the layout worked well, I guess, to have the photo on the left side, just because of how the photo is balanced. So as you can see, I trimmed up my glitter washi tape vertically just using my paper trimmer. I really like to sometimes make some narrower strips using my paper trimmer, and that's a fun technique just to expand the use of your washi tape. And I added some gold glitter letters to that as well. They don't stand out a lot, especially considering I've got that gold washi tape, but I wasn't going for a super emphasized title, so that's okay. I really like how it looks. And I just added one of those Recollection stud bling thingies, as well as some enamel dots. And now I'm just using my Tim Holtz tiny type tile thingies to add the subtitle, so it says axe throwing. And these stickers gave me a lot of grief. I cut out most of it, but I ended up having to add glue to the back of all of them because they kept popping off. And the stickers in general are good, but I've had these for a little while now, so I think they're just losing their stickiness, so I don't mind gluing them on. It was just a pain to stick them all on and then have to take them off again. So on the back of that card, I just adhered my pattern paper and my photo right to the back because it had to be a 4x6 orientation, and I was only using a 3x4 piece of paper and a 3x4 photo. And then I just, again, cut some washi tape vertically and added it between the two photos, and I'm just going to add some stickers here. This excursion was really quite fun. I talked about it a bit already in the intro part flip through, but as I said, my father-in-law renovated the place and we're really proud of him. It looked awesome, and I would definitely go back there because it was a lot of fun doing this axe throwing thing. I don't know if it's a thing specific to our region. I live in Calgary, and apparently there's another axe throwing place here as well that just opened, but it was quite fun. So I don't know, if you're interested, check it out and see if there's one in your city, because it was really fun and I would recommend it. As you saw, I just wrote out my journaling on some white cardstock and then cut it into strips. This is pretty much the same technique as people using their typewriter, except I was too lazy to put my paper in my typewriter, so I just hand wrote it out and then cut them. And it was kind of squishy to fit all these on, so I had to put some on top of the photo, but it worked out fine and I think it looks okay. And then I'm just gluing them on with glossy accents, so that card is finished. And that was a pretty simple spread. I'm just going to add some more glitter tape to the front of this one, just to sort of define the edge of that photo. I felt that the two busy photos side by side were, I guess, not, well, blending into each other sort of, so I just wanted to define that edge anyway. I glued them back to back because they were wiggling around a bit and I didn't want the white backs of the photos to be showing. And we are on to the last and final page that I do in my process, so if you're still here with me, congratulations. This has been a bit of a long process, but I really enjoy filming these, and it's more work to film these because I have to do a voiceover as well, but if you like them, please give me a thumbs up and comment to let me know that it's worth my time. And as you saw there, I just used some white gelato, but it wasn't quite bold enough, so I used some white picket fence paint in the dauber, but my dauber is all clogged up, so I just used my finger to wipe it on. And I just did that to calm down the pattern of the paper, I guess, because I wanted the cow piece to stand out a bit more. And now I'm just pulling out these square photos, and what I like to do when I have two square photos side by side is use the same pattern paper along the top of them. So I'm just looking through my scraps to find one that works for these, and I pulled out this turquoise bluish kind of one because it coordinated with some of the blues in the pattern paper at the bottom of this page, so I liked that. And I just cut it about 1.5 inches wide by 3 inches long, so that I had a 1/2 inch to overlap with the photo and adhere that to. So I'm just using the grid on my mat to make sure that they are 4 inches tall. And then I like to add some washi tape along that edge just to decorate it a little bit. So that's what I'm doing, is picking through all my washi's. I have quite a few new washi's right now because I had a bit of a splurge and ordered a bunch, as well as bought some from Michael's. So I'm still getting used to all the choices that I have, which it's nice to have choices, but sometimes it makes the process take a little longer, but that's okay. So I'm using this gold crackle one now, and I just ripped it vertically, which for some washi's it's hard to do that, but this one's a bit more papery, so it worked out well. And I just added that Sunday sticker as well as a little red dot, and I'm just adding my final journaling. So that wraps it up, and again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and please check out my blog for more still photos. Have a great week.